What are your pronouns?
I don't want pronouns. I don't want pronouns.
So you're fluid? What is that?
Nobody even knows.
The clash between Trump and outspoken journalists shows no signs of stopping. Every press conference is a showdown, with tough questions sparking heated debates. From gender issues to racial tensions, these fiery exchanges are more intense than ever.
And I'll tell you what, I'd be the greatest women's basketball coach there is. LeBron, did you ever have any...
Beyond the viral clips and trending hashtags, a bigger battle is unfolding. One that's actively reshaping American culture.
Useful idiots like you that are validating ascientific nonsense. There's no such thing as gender identity.
You condemn white supremacy and white nationalism.
Shame on you. Look people in the eye and tell them what you've actually failed to tell them for the last...
Today, we're revealing the most intense moments the mainstream media won't highlight. In a key interview that shook the cultural landscape, Trump faced questions about modern gender ideology. When asked about his preferred pronouns, he didn't hold back. I don't want pronouns.
What are your pronouns?
I don't want pronouns. I don't want pronouns.
So you're fluid? What is that?
Nobody even knows.
The clip went viral, racking up over 50 million views in just hours and fueling a nationwide debate on identity politics. Conservative media quickly embraced the moment. Tucker Carlson called it the most honest answer in political history, while Ben Shapiro's coverage drew millions of viewers. For many Americans frustrated with growing social pressures around gender identity, Trump's blunt rejection of pronouns struck a chord. Conservatives saw it as a stand against what they viewed as forced speech, making it a pivotal moment in the broader pushback against progressive ideology. But the reaction was deeply divided. Progressive commentators on MSNBC and CNN slammed Trump's remarks as transphobic and harmful to LGBTQ youth. Meanwhile, conservative outlets praised his willingness to challenge what they saw as ideological overreach. On social media, the debate exploded, with hashtags like #NoPronouns and #TransRightsAreHumanRights trending at the same time. The ripple effect spread beyond politics. Schools faced heated board meetings over pronoun policies. Corporations struggled to balance inclusion efforts with employee concerns, and universities became battlegrounds over language rules and gender identity guidelines. Inspired by Trump's stance, other politicians began pushing back on gender ideology, leading to new legislation in multiple states.
Identifies black? No, it's a serious question because you might not identify. Can you please put the mic? Thank you. Okay.
When I walked into the room,
I am not done with my question.
Oh, young lady.
I'm just asking you to listen to me while
I'm about to answer the first question.
But I didn't finish my question.
Okay.
Republican governors, taking cues from Trump, started proposing bills to limit pronoun requirements in schools and workplaces.
9% of the people in this room are black, and we're all not here for you. Do you think there are racial inequalities in America? And how do you feel about Trump increasing both economic inequality and discrimination for people of color and LGBTQ people? What about violence against marginalized people in the United States? Can you talk about that?
Well, the subject was about national security and foreign policy, but I will tell you that I think in the minority community and the black community, I think they're pretty happy that unemployment isn't at an all-time low in the United States of America for Hispanic and black communities, and that's the truth. As a matter of fact, overall unemployment is an all-time low. So if you want to break the pay gap or racial inequality gap, the most important thing is my parents taught me, who were black, born and raised down south, was about equality of opportunity and not equality of...
The controversy highlighted the growing divide between coastal progressives and heartland conservatives. Each new policy announcement only fueled more media battles and intensified the national debate.
Racial inequalities in America that you are denying that happen now. And to say that, we are better and unemployment is down is dismissing the fact that a lot of LGBTQ people are in trouble right now because of your administration. And a lot of black
I'm not in the administration. I'm just a guy.
I mean, you are supporting the administration, though, aren't you?
I'm not speaking for the administration.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that.
I'm just a private citizen. I'm just Joe.
Youth organizations and schools found themselves stuck in the middle, struggling to balance opposing views on gender identity and expression in an increasingly divided climate.
We should not allow men to play in women's sports.
The debate over transgender athletes reached new heights when Trump made headlines with a controversial speech on women's sports. "I'd be the greatest women's basketball coach in history," he claimed before joking about recruiting LeBron James for a women's team. His remarks sparked a firestorm, dominating news cycles and fueling heated discussions across both the sports and political worlds. Social media erupted, with the clip quickly going viral and reigniting debates on fairness in athletics.
And I'll tell you what, if I were ever, I'd be the greatest women's basketball coach in history. Because I don't like LeBron James. I like Michael Jordan much better. But I'd go up to LeBron James, it doesn't matter. I'd say, "LeBron, did you ever have any desire to be a woman? Because what I'd love you to do is star on my team that I'm building up. I will have the greatest team in history. They'll never lose. Nobody will come within 70 points of this team."
Trump strategically pointed to real-life examples of transgender athletes breaking records in women's sports. He specifically referenced the University of Pennsylvania swimming controversy, where Lee Thomas's victory sparked a nationwide debate on fairness in competition.
Biden and the Democrats are even pushing policies that would destroy women's sports. A lot of new records are being broken in women's sports. Hate to say that, ladies, but got a lot of new records. They're being shattered. You know, for years, the weightlifting, every ounce is like a big deal for many years. All of a sudden, somebody comes along and beats it by 100 pounds. Boom, boom. Now, young girls and women are incensed that they are now being forced to compete against those who are biological males. It's not good for women. It's not good for women's sports, which worked so long and so hard to get.
The weightlifting records Trump cited weren't just statistics. They were real competitions where traditional women's records were shattered by wide margins. These examples struck a chord with parents, coaches, and female athletes worried about fairness in sports. The controversy spread beyond politics, drawing in the sports world. Some Olympic athletes began speaking out, even risking their careers to challenge inclusion policies. Swimmer Riley Gaines emerged as a leading voice, sharing her experience competing against transgender athletes. Trump seized on these stories, bringing them up in rallies and interviews, transforming individual sports disputes into a national debate on fairness and biology.
The reason we separate sexes in the Olympics, in the World Championships, because otherwise women would never win anything.
Look, I think
so that's why we do it. It's not because women aren't great athletes.
Women would never
They're great
win
athletes
anything.
when competing
What a quote
against people
is.
physically born
Listen,
like that. If you allowed women and men to compete in a generalized way, then women would win almost no medals. Literally, other than one or two events, possibly equestrian, possibly archery, there are very few things which, anything that involves power or stamina or speed or snow.
Piers, can I ask you a question really quickly?
Yes.
Have you ever undergone any kind of like hormone replacement therapy?
Oh, you mean chopped off his penis? Because
No,
that's
I haven't.
Hang on. I'm not talking to you, Esther.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Okay.
I'm talking to Piers.
Yeah.
Because actually, the body does undergo an incredible amount of toil.
What it doesn't
when
do,
you actually-
Francesca, I've heard this argument.
Hang on.
It
No,
doesn't change. It doesn't change your body mass.
No,
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It does.
No,
it
it doesn't.
absolutely can change your body
No,
mass.
it doesn't.
The debate led to a wave of policy changes. Republican-led states like Florida, Texas, and Tennessee passed laws restricting transgender participation in women's sports, while Democratic states responded with inclusive policies, creating a patchwork of regulations across the country. Athletic organizations were caught in the middle, with the NCAA facing mounting pressure to set clear rules. Even professional sports leagues couldn't avoid the controversy, as the debate over fairness and inclusion continued to escalate.
So this is a testament to the poor quality of public education in both the US and the UK, that you both don't understand the basic economics of how sports entertainment works.
Yeah.
If there are not enough bums on seats, you don't get paid enough. That's literally it.
That's it.
So sitting there outraged about the fact that some female players don't make as much as some male athletes, guess what? Go and buy the tickets to their games and start boosting up their viewing figures, and then maybe
Caitlin
at the
Clark got
numbers.
more views.
Look at the revenue for the
Caitlin-
Women's World Cup and compare it to the Men's World Cup. They are light years away.
Can I say
It's
one
not-
thing?
Caitlin Clark was the most watched women's college player ever. The ratings were through the roof. She's getting sponsorships.
compare it to the
left and
average
right.
male college viewership.
Okay, we're
Compare
gonna
it
move
to
on.
that and
She
say-
had more views than.
The WNBA faced growing scrutiny over its policies on transgender athletes. while Olympic committees debated testosterone level requirements. Trump's bold remarks on coaching and recruitment put
his hand up and says, actually, I'm feeling like a woman today. Do you play him in the American women's national team, Francesca? Yes or no?
Lionel Messi had to undergo an incredible...
Yes or no?
He had to undergo an incredible amount of treatment when he was young. He had a bunch of
Would you allow him to put his hand up, say he's a woman, and play in the American women's national team?
He had a growth spurt. I'm a big Messi fan, so... But let me just explain this.
Answer my question. Would you allow him, if he said, I'm a woman, to play in the American women's national team?
You're using the wrong pronoun
Yes, right now. Hell yeah, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Messi on the U.S. women's national team? Hell yeah.
Would you allow Usain Bolt to do that and be in the sprinting team?
Yes, because that would mean they're a trans woman. They identify as women.
I get it. So just to be clear, you'd let Lionel Messi play in the women's national football team and destroy women's football forever. You'd let Usain Bolt...
it'd be very difficult to get a ticket, which would suck.
I want to do a little checklist here. You'd let Usain Bolt compete as a sprinter in the American women's Olympic team?
Yes.
Okay. You would let Floyd Mayweather compete as a boxer in the women's American boxing team?
Yeah,
you are a
you have to be
complete
like the
and utter
heavyweight.
lunatic.
I completely agree with Francesca. And I go further.
They
Actually,
would have
Piers,
to
you always...
transition.